Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Make a Better World. I'm your host, David Tare. And, lately I've been doing a lot of political videos because the election's coming up. It's less than 2 weeks away now. And as I think most of you guys know, been watching my videos, I'm a very strong supporter of Harris, VP Harris, who's running for president against Donald Trump, who I can't stand. I really hope loses because I think we're going to be in deep shit if he wins, like a lot of other Americans. But anyway, aside from that, I've been also making a lot of videos about space travel. You probably also know I'm a big proponent of manned space travel. I think we should be doing a lot more with it. And I guess, a guy who sort of falls into both of those categories is Elon Musk. And I have kind of mixed feelings about him. So the title of my talk for today is Elon Musk, good or bad? And it's interesting. I don't know if I should be sharing this information with you or not. You guys probably know I like lists. I like ordered lists. I don't know why. I am a mathematician, and I am running another channel called Old Time Rock and Roll, where I'm since January 1st been counting. I made my own personal list of what I consider the top 3,000 songs of the rock era, ranked from 3,001. I'm up to song number 27. 18 because I just started the beginning of the year. I won't get to number one till 2032. So I ranked all those, and I haven't told too many people this, but I came up with another rank list about a year ago, which I haven't published, but it was a rank list of who I considered the 100 most influential people of my lifetime. And next, I mean, this could be good or bad. In case you guys are curious who I ranked number one, I put Nelson Mandela as number one. I think I put Hugh Hefner as number 100. But and Elon Musk made the list too, but he was only number 68. I'd probably rank him higher now. But the other thing I did on the list besides ranking how influential I thought they were, I also gave up to five plus signs or up to five minus signs, indicating whether they had an overall positive or negative influence on society. In case you're curious, Nelson Mandela had five pluses, which is the maximum possible. And number two is Martin Luther King Jr., who also had five pluses. Hugh Hefner had one minus. Elon Musk was neutral. I didn't give him any pluses or any minuses. I guess I didn't know that much about him at the time. I mean, I knew that he founded SpaceX. I knew that he was planning a one way trip to Mars. I knew that he also, I knew about his plan to build the Hyperloop, which is kind of a high speed vacuum tube for transportation. I knew he was a big visionary with a lot of visions for a lot of pretty amazing futuristic technologies, and I also knew he was the richest person in the world, or at least one of the richest, which he still is. So I knew all this stuff about him. I guess I didn't know that much bad stuff about him. I mean, I think he had just acquired Twitter and turned it into X. And I did hear from one of my co-workers. She was actually my boss at the last place I was tutoring. She told me that she couldn't stand Elon Musk because she said he treated all his employees at X like slaves, made them work 18 hours a day, and fired everybody who was at Twitter before, and that didn't sound very nice to me. I also had heard that he was anti-Semitic. I'd heard a lot of other negative things about him, but I didn't really do much research about him until today. So I guess what I'm going to do is first I'm going to just kind of summarize everything I learned about him by looking up. I looked up the article about him on Wikipedia. I usually look things up on Wikipedia. I find for most things it's a pretty reliable source of information. So I'm just gonna, talk about, pretty much everything Elon Musk has done, and then I'm also gonna talk about a lot of the reasons a lot of people don't like him, and so anyway, let me just get started on that. So he was born in Pretoria, South Africa in 1971. He's 52 years old. He's 9 years younger than me. Um, And he's currently worth, he's estimated net worth is $247 billion, which is, he's either, I think he's been sort of teetering back and forth being either the richest or second richest person in the world. I think the other guy who's up there close to him is Bernard Arnold, French, French industrialist. Couple others who were up there in the top four: Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg. I think those four are all around $200 billion net worth. Pretty unbelievable. And I'm not a, I'm kind of a democratic socialist myself. I don't even know if there should be billionaires in this world. But let's leave that question aside. I mean, there have been some great industrialists throughout history. I mean, doesn't, you don't have to look very hard to see if, some really great ones like Thomas Edison and Henry Ford and, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. All those guys developed some pretty amazing technologies that we all kind of, use on a regular basis. So, if it hadn't been for them, I think these technologies would have taken a lot longer to get developed. So I think there is something to be said for rich industrialists. Even though I am a socialist, I'm not sure how I feel about that. And I guess that would include Elon Musk as well. So let's leave aside the fact that he's the richest person in the world and worth $247 billion. I'm not going to judge whether that in and of itself is good or bad. Um, but he has amazing credentials. I guess I first want to talk about some of the things I do like about him. I mean, obviously he's very, very smart. I mean, anybody who's done what he's done has to be. He is the founder, CEO, and chief of engineer of SpaceX. They're one of, I think, only two private companies sending people or planning on sending people into space. Seems like everything's becoming privatized these days. NASA's not doing much in terms of they're not doing anything in terms of manned missions into space, and they haven't since 2011, since the space shuttle program got scrapped. But now it's up to billionaires to get us into space, and Elon Musk is I guess one of them, and he's also the CEO and project architect of Tesla. I'm sure you guys all have heard of Tesla. And, a lot of my friends have Teslas, and I'd like to get one myself, I think. I was just in Cleveland, and a good friend of one of my cousins owns a Tesla. He owns a 2016 Tesla X, and they've come up with two new models since then, the Tesla Y, and I don't know if it's available yet, but the next one's going to be the Tesla 3, which I was told some really good things about it by this guy who talked to me about it. For one thing, it's a self-driving car. My friend also, his is self-driving as well. I even took a ride in it. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing technology. And I am for self-driving cars. Probably a lot of you guys aren't, but I've heard a lot of really good things about them. I think I've heard that they're statistically much safer than human drivers, and I think they could make car ownership obsolete in a few years, which I think is a great thing. You won't have to buy a car, you'll just be able to call up a self driving cab to take you wherever you want to go. I think that is progress. And, so I think the Tesla's a good car. It's also a fully electric vehicle. It's probably going to help the environment. Um, and I've heard they've gotten a lot cheaper. I've heard Teslas used to be super expensive, but I looked this up along with this guy I was visiting. He showed me that the Tesla C is listed, the 2025 Tesla C is listed, list price, retail price is 35,000, which isn't much more than I paid for my Prius a few years ago. I think I'll be able to afford that in another year or two. And they can go up to 400 miles without recharging, which is pretty good. That's about as much as I get from my Prius with. So it sounded really good to me, and if I can afford one next year, also if I can get my car insurance back, I probably will buy one. So I'm happy about the Tesla. I'm happy about SpaceX and what they're doing in space. Another one of my dreams is to go into space someday. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid, and if I could ever afford a ticket, or ride orbit the Earth on a space shuttle owned by SpaceX before I die, I'm gonna do that too. So, um, kudos to Musk for that, and he's also the owner, CEO, and executive chairman of X, which used to be Twitter. I'm not so crazy about this. And I'll tell you why I don't like X or Twitter. I actually, another friend of mine urged me to sign up for an account with Twitter. I think it was still Twitter now. Twitter is now it's X. But I did so. I used it for about an hour, and I didn't like it. I mean, I've been avid user of Facebook for the last several years. I do really like Facebook, but I tried Twitter one night, and with a lot of tweets, and I responded to a lot of these tweets. I think Elon Musk, I must have seen about 5 or 6 of his tweets just in the span of an hour. And I think I said some kind of negative things about him. I don't remember what I said. I think I said I thought he was too rich, that I was a socialist, and I didn't think there should be billionaires. I might have said something like that. There were also a lot of tweets from good old Trump, and I probably told him off. I think I even said some negative things about Biden. There was a lot of tweets by Biden. I don't remember what I said. I think I said he was too optimistic. But anyway, next thing I knew, I was banned. They wouldn't let me go back on. And they never even told me why. And my inclination is I probably insulted some of the wrong people. You know, um, but it is a free country. We're supposed to have First Amendment rights to free speech. I don't think I should have been banned, and I think I should have been told what I did wrong. So I'm very resentful to Twitter or X or whatever they were for doing that to me. So I'm not a fan of X or Twitter. Just let you guys know that. Also, I know that good old Donald Trump has been notorious for putting hundreds of tweets on Twitter. Probably now X even got banned from Twitter. So that's another reason I really don't like Twitter or X. But anyway, so but he's done amazing stuff, and I guess I'll just kind of before I'm off of talking about some of the good things they've done, I just want to talk about his history. So he got early start in software development. His first big development was Zip 2, and that was acquired by Compaq in 1999 for $307 million. He was only 28 years old at the time, and he used that money he got to co-found X.com, which was the first, I guess, computerized bank, direct bank, and it merged with Cofinity in 2000 and formed PayPal. I'm not a big fan of PayPal, by the way. I used to use it a lot. Now I don't use it anymore. Um, and then PayPal, I guess, became their own company, and they gave Musk $100 million for the work he'd done on it, and he used that money to found SpaceX in 2002. And then in 2004, he co-founded Tesla, and then he helped create Solar City in 2006, and that was later acquired by Tesla, and in 2016 became Tesla Energy. Like I think I mentioned earlier, in 2013, he proposed a Hyperloop, which is some really futuristic idea for transportation via vacuum tubes. And in 2018, he stepped down as CEO of Tesla. I guess he got sued by the SEC. But then I think I mentioned he acquired Twitter in 2022 for $44 billion, and he used it to form X. And he also founded XAI, which I haven't used. So those are all his accomplishments. Pretty amazing, I think. And I'll just say now I'm going to talk about, some of the bad stuff he's done. So, and this is pretty horrible. I didn't even know most of this until today. But apparently, when COVID-19 was out, he promoted a lot of myths, a lot of misinformation about COVID-19. He also promoted a lot of right-wing conspiracy theories. I don't know why he did all that. And then, I knew some of this already. Once he acquired Twitter, he basically laid everybody off from Twitter. And I don't think that was nice of him. And I also heard that, once he formed X, he kind of treated his new employees like slaves and made them work 18 hours a day. And he also people say that he increased the amount of hate speech on the social media, in particular with X. And I already mentioned how it got banned from X. Apparently he's known for changing there's some kind of X premium verification you have to do now. And he's also been accused of some pretty terrible anti-Semitism. I'd heard this a year or two ago. I didn't know any specifics, but the Israeli government accused him of being anti Semitic. Apparently, he's been spreading a lot of conspiracy theories against the Jews, and he even was quoted as saying Hitler was right. So, I think those are all really, really bad things about him. And if I was going to redo my list now, I'd probably make him more influential, but I'd probably give him at least two minus signs. I don't really like him anymore, even though he is a big visionary. And still probably buy a Tesla, but other than that, I'm not gonna promote him. I'm not gonna do anything to help him. Especially while the other thing I didn't even mention, he's promoting Trump now, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. And he was promoting Obama when he was president. I mean, I don't think that he has any preferred political party. I think he just works with whichever party is going to help him. And right now, I think he sees Trump as a more worthy ally. Someone who can help him more than Harris. I mean, Harris doesn't have anything like the kind of money that Trump does, and I'm sure Harris doesn't like him. And I think she has a lot of good reasons too. So I guess, to sum everything up, I'm not really a fan of Elon Musk, even though he is an amazing visionary. You know, just everything new I've learned about him really kind of makes me sick. Anyway, that concludes my video on Elon Musk. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let's make a better world with or without Elon Musk. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.